to see if other people in your group can talk for the final message. We're gonna have 3 minutes. Let's say, well, let's give us we'll give 4 minutes. We'll give 4 minutes time to meet with your group. So just turn around and get together with your group. 4 minutes to meet with your group. Then we'll have 1 minute final message. 1 minute final message from each group. Okay, let's talk to the group.
I believe you're gonna
no mata muchas personas, pero la radiación que queda afecta a las personas y los hijos de ellos y la todo lo que desastres y los desastres cómo ha cambiado la cultura de las personas.
I think it's going to be important, right?
Y eso natural resources.
Porque está como hay dissolve al mismo tiempo.
Bueno, este no ayuda a otro y este es peligroso para la humanidad contra muchos otros.
Not very different from any like many people.
know when you can use delay to support.
Porque
Yeah.
Brasil
We're gonna have
Yeah, because you guys are safe for the first time.
you're not gonna share
Yeah.
that.
porque eso como ya
You're gonna share the plane.
hay como el competencia
No.
A mí me faltaron la conversación como 30 años iba. Estaba no paraba de estar.
Okay, about 5 more seconds. Okay, it's time. Please come back together to the table. So we're going to hear from group 1, the final message from group 1. It can be more than one person talking if you want more than one. You have 1 minute to use, and then group 2, you can have more than one person talking, but you have only 1 minute to use for any of your final message. Okay. So I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock here. Remember, outside group, you should be marking down on the second page. Anytime you hear claim or anytime you hear evidence, make a line. Okay. here we go. So group number 1, and your minute begins now.
We believe that nuclear energy is not very dangerous compared to other sources of energy. In the next minute, we will provide 3 different claims with evidence to support our position. To begin, nuclear energy should not be considered dangerous because it uses a natural source. Coal kills around 40,000 people only in the USA. Nuclear energy can kill less people than coal, oil, and even solar. Can you imagine how many people coal kills around the world? Nuclear energy is less dangerous.
Anything more from, we have 20 seconds.
Fears nuclear energy is will produce less greenhouse gas.
Okay, thank you guys. So we're going to 1 minute to group number 2. Group number 2, we have 1 minute. Are we ready? Here we go. And we're starting your 1 minute now.
Nuclear energy should be considered dangerous because the water, the uranium from radiums means they are the most harmful type of radiations to living things like us. For example, the water produced after the nuclear energy is released, they store the water in some nuclear recipients with no security. It can get stolen by the terrorists and make nuclear weapons. This explains supports our arguments that can become nuclear weapons.
No, so as we said, there is nuclear, and it can be considered dangerous, and now also, but the thing here is to find a new way to not destroy our environment and to not put people in danger. We know coal, it can make global warming.
Also for this one, you can see that the radiation always stay there, and so they can affect like the people's DNA and food and plants and destroy the environment.
Okay.
So it can affect people like this.
Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, now we have on the outside group, if you can mark down here, what did you see on team 1 here, team 1, and team 2 here. So on the page, the first page, write down what you see on this one. And then we're going to have a quick vote to see who did you think won.
Yo no había nacido más.
5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ya era más, ya te quedar en algo. Ustedes metieron a darle like a uno, sacó con like. Yo no llamo, yo venía más, y meter más, quitar núcleo más y también polvo, porque eso afecta. Y aquel metió laca también, y dile. The idea was to take away nuclear and also coal because
Number 1 is this
nuclear
one, number 2 is this one.
make people dangerous and coal is bad for the environment. And
That's a vote.
we can use another
Okay, good.
other type of resources that cannot be dangerous to people.
That is great.
So identifiable.
Huh?
Anyway, you think of a way. Now
That's
this is
the
the best way.
idea.
Why you agree right now? You could.
Ya terminó.
A ver, pero te digo, me quedo
I don't
enseñando.
understand.
Look, I heard that.
Nosotros quedamos en
I
clase.
remember when he was saying
Number 1 and 2.
I'm not talking. I'm not
Yeah, because you know you're scared. You're scared. You're scared. You're scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. For what?
You lose.
I never lose.
They appreciate you.
Okay.
But the time.
So thank you very much for team number 1 and team number 2. You guys worked hard to present your arguments, and
Hay que tomar ese medio mucho.
The one boy.
Yo venía con otro team. I came in with another team.
Eso
We need to start.
Just out there in English.
Okay.
I have to choose a better way. Let each person talk, 'cause it's just.
Thank you for your patience. We had
Right.
7 votes, and we had 2 votes for team number 2, and 5 votes for team number 1. Okay. Both teams did a great job. Both teams did a great job. Let's give some applause to both teams. Okay. So we're gonna switch now. We're gonna switch to the inside circle and the outside circle teams.
Pero ya le metí la chapa. Se la metí. Yo te comparto. Hace ya 2 veces a la chapa y le ganaron 2 y no hay pena. Pues hay más. ¡Ya superado! ¡Con todo el poder! Hay más notas para eso, pero. Is there?
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna go. Yeah.
No. I'll be here like around 10 minutes. I want to hear some.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, you have the white paper. This one. Oh, this is the oldest one.
No, she's
There's the.
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
He's gonna write it.
No, but I was gonna say.
I don't know where's my paper. What is it?
Okay. So, before we start, if I can get your attention for one moment. So, outside group, you should be on page 2, So, Johan and Jose, can you change your paper to page 2? Page 2. Go to page 2, please. In the outside group, you have a white paper, page 2. I know it's kind of confusing when the order is crazy. So, remember, we're going to make a mark. Hold on a second, we're going to make a line every time you hear a claim or evidence for, this will be team 3, this will be team 4. Team 3 and team 4, so you can write team 3 in the top here, team 4 in the bottom. So every time you hear claims from team 3, write down a line. Every time you hear claim from team 4, write down a line. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? We're going to have 2 minutes for the opening statement from team 1. And 2 minutes is ready. Okay, begin.
Thank you to everyone that is here. And yeah. Today we're debating the resolution that the world should use more nuclear energy to solve the global warming crisis because nuclear energy is very dangerous. It's not very dangerous and it's better than any other sources of energy. Global climate change is the average global temperatures to rise, putting the planet in risk. It is caused by greenhouse gases. The global climate change is a problem for all living things in the world because ice is melting, ocean is rising, and the small islands are sinking underwater. In recent years, many countries have come together to discuss possible solutions that could reduce the impact of global climate change. One of those proposed solutions is for countries to stop using energy that creates pollution and to start using more renewable solutions for more renewable clean energy. Energy is considered renewable if it doesn't disappear and you can use it forever. So some sources of renewable energy include solar, wind, water energy that is considered clean if it doesn't create greenhouse gases. Some sources of clean energy is nuclear energy.
Okay, thank you. Team 1. So we're going to team 2. We have 2 minutes for opening statement, please. Team 2. Thank you.
I want to thank you for everyone for being here this day. Today we are debating the resolution that nuclear energy should be not used in our community. Global climate change is when world is getting warmer and warmer. It is caused by pollution in the air, such as smoke. Global climate change is a problem for all living things in the world because the high level of CO2 in the air are making the planet hot and hot. In recent years, many countries have come together to discuss possible solutions that could reduce the impact of global climate change. One of those proposed solutions is for countries to stop using energy that creates pollution and to start using more renewable clean energy. Energy is considered renewable if it used again and again. Some sources of renewable energy include wind and solar and also hydro energy. Energy is considered clean if it did not make a lot of pollution or waste that can affect our environment. Some sources of clean energy include hydro, wind, and solar. Nuclear energy is not considered renewable energy because there are not much uranium in the earth to make energy. However, is not considered to be clean energy. Each year, enormous quantities of radioactive waste are like throwing in the ocean, in the world. Nuclear energy generates about 10% of world electricity. In countries like France, nuclear energy generates 78% of electricity. In America, nuclear energy generates about 20% of electricity. Currently, there are 438 nuclear reactors in 15 countries across the world.
Great, thank you, team 2. So now to team number 1, we're going to hear one claim, and then one claim from number 2, and then open conversation for 5 minutes. So let's hear from team number 1, one claim. We have 1 minute. Okay.
First, nuclear energy is not the most dangerous. For example, the people themselves give us said that bomb fields cause global warming. This means it affects the whole world, but nuclear energy only affects small parts. This example supports our argument that other sources compared with the nuclear energy is that nuclear energy is more safe than any other and could do less pollution.
Thank you, team 1. To team 2, one claim, please.
Again, nuclear energy should be considered dangerous because nuclear energy has given us the power to produce more weapons than to produce things that can make the world a better place to live in. We have to become more careful and responsible while using nuclear energy. Nuclear power plants are objectives of terrorist organizations. To illustrate, terrorists could be target nuclear plants in an attempt to release. Nuclear power plants are objectives of terrorist organizations. For example, nuclear terrorists could target nuclear plants in an attempt to release radioactivity. As you can see, having nuclear plants is not safe for the world and humanity.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to have 5 minutes for open conversation time. Remember, try to encourage other people in your group to talk and not only one person talking. And you can give one of your claims that you already wrote, or you can reply or say other information. Remember, when you're listening outside group, you should be writing down every time you hear claim or every time you hear evidence, write down a line. Okay, let's start. 5 minutes.
Alright, I disagree with Jacqueline's claim because she's saying that uranium is using as if we implemented the uranium as a energy, then people is gonna use it to make nuclear bombs, right? Is that what you said? So what I think is that if there is more uranium in the world, then anyways the people is gonna use it to make bombs. So even though if we use it as energy or not, people is gonna keep going. Keep making the bombs. No one is gonna stop them because countries want to get control over the others, so they want to have a better protection and better weapons to fight against other countries. So it doesn't matter if you use the nuclear energy because you're gonna use it as a energy, and also you're gonna use it to make weapons.
But I was talking about nuclear plants, like the one that people use in the factories, and like not all the countries have a good relationship, so they can like destroy that nuclear plants to make a destruction. So it can be easily targeted at terrorists, like attack. If you have like a lot of nuclear plants, because the United States in the east there is more like nuclear plants in the same area.
Alright, I know there are some plants, but terrorists are not gonna stop they are not gonna use only the nuclear plants. They can use many ways to attack another country. So nuclear power is not the most dangerous. And also, even if they attack a country, the government is prepared for that kind of risk. Before they build the nuclear plant, they think about the risk. So it's not dangerous.
So you mean that earthquake will be like not dangerous for, like if there happen, like, for example, in Chernobyl, the destruction that it does, it is not, like for example, terrorists did not do that. It was for the nature. It means that even it doesn't matter if the people are like very prepared for that. Always will be like, for example, a disaster in there, and it will affect all people from there.
Yeah, but it was an accident. So an accident is different than an attack to a country. An accident maybe kills people, but if you keep using it, like sources of energy like coal, then the amount of people that the nuclear plants or energy kills by accident or by accident is very small amount compared with the amount that the coal or pollution that kills people. So we were reading this paper where it says that in the United States every year 14,000 people die because of the coal directly.
Really?
Yeah.
That is nothing. You see here in the Chernobyl disaster, there are like 2,397,863 people registered with Ukrainian Health Ministry to receive or ongoing Chernobyl-related healthcare. It means like they are like possible to get cancer and possible to get mutation in their body. So the death from cold and all that stuff is not like compared to
How many people did you say?
2,397,863 people, including 453,391 children, young children.
Alright, that's a amount for an accident. And what up?
Okay, we can continue talking about is it dangerous or not dangerous, but we're gonna change to part 2 now. Part 2 is talking about is it better than other energy sources? So we talked about this a little bit, but now we're gonna focus more, not so much on is it dangerous, but more on how does it compare to other energy sources. So we're gonna have one claim from team 1, then one claim from team 2, then 5 minutes open conversation again. So team 1, we're gonna have 1 minute for you for a claim about, this is part 2, about how does it compare to other energy sources? Is it better than other energy sources? Are we ready? Team number 1, ready? Okay, and start.
I think the nuclear energy is better than other energy because the nuclear power is almost no pollution, and just have a proton and neutron can produce a lot of energy, and it can transform to energy
show that nuclear power is the dominant solution and energies could produce the most energy. And now the current oil cause serious air pollution and the use of oil.
Okay, thank you, Team 1. We're going to Team 2. 1 minute for one claim, please, about how does it compare to other energy source? And start.
To begin, nuclear energy is not better than other sources of energy because uranium is limited. Uranium is not renewable. Nuclear energy uses uranium, which is a scarce source, and it is not found in many countries. It means once all are extracted, nuclear plants will be not working. It will be out of work.
Okay, thank you, Team 2. And now we're going to open conversation. We have 5 minutes on the clock for open conversation. Remember, try to have some people step up, some people step back, so we can have everyone in the group talking. And 5 minutes to start.
Even though uranium in the land is not rich, but we can find it in the seawater and the moon. And it will never be used up.
But what about when it gets all extracted?
Alright, if you're saying that the uranium is not the best source of energy, what can you use?
We can use wind, we can use hydro, and also we can use solar energy. And that is renewable energy, you know? You can use, like, for example, if you say that it doesn't work because, for example, in a wind energy, if there is not a lot of air, you mean that you can say that there is no energy, but we can like use another kind of energy. For example, we have hydro, and then maybe in the next day there will be a lot of air that we can use now.
But even if you use all of those resources, you're not gonna make enough energy that we need all of the human needs, because every time or every year people's creating new stuff that is using more and more energy. So how can you afford all of that energy if you don't have a good source of energy? And if let's say that right now maybe it is enough to use the wind and the water and solar energy, but later it's not gonna be enough because the population is increasing, the technology is increasing, you need more energy. So what you're gonna do when the energy is not gonna be enough?
So you said that if there is no population, so it's gonna be affect also the nuclear energy. You know why? Because nuclear energy is gonna use more energy. So it's gonna be like uranium will be like no anymore in the air, because we are going to extract all the uranium, because more population will be using and you know what, the nuclear energy is not renewable, so the other kind of energy are renewable that can like make and never gonna like start making the energy.
But the main idea is to stop pollution. So if you can use the nuclear energy to stop pollution and then create enough energy, and then we can use this until someone brings us a good energy that do not make pollution and is now like dangerous. But we want to stop pollution because we're like the pollution is very high already, so we want to stop it, not to we don't want to make the more energy now. We want to stop pollution. That's the main idea.
So you say about pollution, so what about all the waste that for example, nuclear energy use fuels, and that fuels go to the water. What about all the fuels all that waste, the fish took all that waste and we eat it, so we can get like diseases, for example, for the radiation that it goes.
The waste of the nuclear energy is not thrown to the ocean.
So where?
It is conserved on the ground and covered safely, so the radiation can go out of like containers.
What about the pollution, the waste that is not like if there is no more space, they're gonna throw the waste in the water. That is
From
what I saw
many
in-
years ago, they started to like collect all of that waste and put it in a place, and it all of that waste from that year till now, it really fits in a field of in a yard, like
What kind of
basketball.
jar? Show me.
A football soccer yard.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like 1 meter and almost 2 meters high, and it fits on a yard of a.
But we had something that suddenly happened. You take care.
What is it?
I mean, you had something will happen. You don't know about what will happen. Right? You had something at the airport. If it happen, you affect
But
it
the
before.
waste is not gonna.
Okay. So thank you guys. You have more time to talk, but first we're gonna have a short meeting with your group. We're gonna have about 3 minutes to talk with the group, and then we'll have the final conversation. 3 minutes to meet with the group and start. Talk to the group. Make a plan for the final message. Remember to make a plan where we have decide who will talk, and let's say if they're talking a lot, we should try to see if we can get them to hang in. No, it's good. Now is the time. Now is the time to make a plan. So you can help them make a plan for what to say right now. So think about who will talk, because some people talk a lot. So we need to talk.
Mr. Paul, so in sixth period, they're gonna do this in Ms. Bueno's class?
In the first hand, yeah.
We're going to.
Your group can decide what you want to do for the final message. You can use this, or you can use a different part. Your group can
No teaching. ¿Me quitaste la foto?
Okay, about 30 seconds more. 30 seconds. Ten seconds more. Okay, that is time. We're gonna have 1 minute from team number 1 and then 1 minute from team number 2, and that is the end. So please get ready and give your attention, please, to team number 1. And anyone can talk. You can use the whole minute, or you can use less than 1 minute. And team number 1, ready and start.
Our starter cover is with the most energy number, but people die of the pollution and die of the radiation. So I think the nuclear energy and these new is safer than covers or the own.
The nuclear energy is important for our world because if the United States didn't drop the atomic bomb to Japan, the World War II would not end so early. If the World War II didn't end, maybe there was more people would die by the war.
We think that nuclear energy is the best energy because it creates a lot of energy with small pieces of uranium-235, and it doesn't create greenhouse gases.
Okay, great. Thank you, team number 1. Now, team number 2, 1 minute. And start.
Okay. Finally, nuclear energy should be considered dangerous because nuclear energy disaster is a big deal. For example, right here is a picture where they dropped the bomb, and also it's a big deal, for example, for the people who live there where they dropped that. And for example, they dropped the bomb in Hiroshima in the other sea. Okay, and right there was radioactivity with 160,000 kids is still living in their temporary, and some people is living temporary in housing because the land is unstable. And based on the evidence that we have, energy is very dangerous for the environment and the land.
Also, here the energy to show the radiation in the Fukushima. Here the radiation still here almost 100 years.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. So, before we end, we need to get the group on the outside.